This episode of Disruption Nation is sponsored by J Parr, Chris Sears Group. Enjoy. Welcome back to Disruption Nation. I'm your host, Taylor Wade-Hoffer. We have Kate Myhan with us today with J Parr Sears Group. Give her official introduction in a second. This is a show, podcast platform, YouTube channel where we highlight and showcase people that are disrupting their space in a positive way. And we were just talking a second ago. I was impressed with the way she communicates, and she's a disruptor for sure. At the mastermind, and I'm gonna start with what caught my ear. Because I got done running my mouth after a 2-hour panel, and she came up to the table. We're having lunch, and I'm gonna start and ask you about Tanglewood, and then I'll give you official intro here. But this is good stuff. This is where it started. So
it's very important if you have some kind of listing to know what you're gonna do with it. I happen to have off-the-market luxury listing that is occupied by a high-profile individual, so I can just drop it on MLS and irritate that individual with people driving by or showings. We just want to bring the right buyer. So at this event, there were top realtors because you go to masterclass if you want to, improve your skill set and you want to meet the best people. So I took advantage of this, meeting of the top people because I knew they're top sellers in our market. And I asked some other agents too, what's the most expensive property you sold? And they were telling me 300, 400. I'm like, well, this is opportunity for you to sell the property for few $1,000,000. And you know what is more even interesting? That property, it's not shown to anybody. So you're bringing value to your client because they can see it without you. So when you were having lunch, I know you had 3 agents at the table, and I actually know them personally. So I showed them that property that I have. It's 8,000 square foot house on a 1/4-acre lot in Tanglewood. We cannot put it on MLS, and we don't market publicly because we want to first get vetted buyer. What I do though, I share pictures, professional video with the agents that had worked with me or with the agents that have demonstrated skill set of selling property to luxury buyer, because those agents are most probable to find that buyer and help me close on that property. And also they understand the benefits of seller financing, which the seller is willing to do seller financing. So they have ability and the skill set to present the property to the right audience and explain that to the right buyer, because property it's appraised much higher than we asking. The seller understand market is challenging, but only good agent can explain those benefits to the buyer and then, obviously procure the sale. So if you're interested, in having luxury property that you can post on your social media and you think you have capacity to find a buyer, talk to me. I will check if you can do it and if you understand how to do it, because again, sometimes it takes experience. $200 houses are much easier to sell than few $1,000,000 houses, especially if you have tenant occupied property and they require certain level of privacy because of that occupant. So Tanglewood, multi-$1,000,000 listing, cheaper than the appraised value, seller financing available. If you want information, talk to me. It's also on my YouTube. I love YouTube. My YouTube has all my listings, whether they're off and on the market. I love videos. I'm very grateful for being here and, looking good with you in the camera. That's pretty much good privilege. Masterclass, I recommend everybody to go for networking, listening from the better. No, there is no better or worse. We are all our own masters. But if you want to, get to the excellence, and that's actually J Parr line, exceeding expectations. Sometimes I exceed my own. Like this month, I'm going to close on 2.2 million, and I'm thinking, oh, my broker will be proud. But then I'm proud too. I have the joy of exceeding my own expectation. So if you want to get there, you got to go there and listen what these other agents do. What actually caught my attention at that class, sorry to monopolize time, but some people were saying, oh, you have to be dressed, and hide your body when you're showing luxury property. And very smart and very good agent Kiani, she said, no, just be yourself. And I went at the end of the class and I thank her for actually telling people to be themselves, because you don't have to do things like I do. If you like to cover yourself, just show your mouth talking about the listing, it's your business. If I'm selling property with the pool, I'm going to be in the bikini. And Kiani told me she even once jumped in the pool. I wouldn't do it because I don't have such a good hair like she does. But you do whatever you feel like doing, as long as it's compliant, as long as it's entertaining, you're probably going to get that buyer and not get in trouble. It will be disruptive because some people will like it and others won't. And it's okay. The entire world doesn't have to love us. Our clients need to love us, and we need to love ourselves. That's the bottom line.
And I love it all. So the incentive, was there one more incentive that you talked about when you first walked up to that table on Tanglewood, or did you hit it all? If you hit it all, four other
seller
agents,
financing, bigger reduction, ability for you to capture the buyer. Because what agents don't understand, I bring you opportunity to get luxury buyer because I'm giving you images or the video, and you don't have to put their address. You don't have to even reference me. I will show you how with the image you can capture that lead and then get them as your client, sign up, then get them approved. Then you bring them to me. If they want information about the house, this is your way to capture that person and then get relationship to work with you. And if they get approved for less than this house is, let's say this house is 3 mils and the buyer gets approved for 2 million, you can sell them other house. But I'm giving you beautiful pictures that will attract you right person, that is luxury buyer. And if you've never done it, well, don't be afraid. I can help you, especially if you're going to help me work with that sale. It's just the clients are usually more demanding when it's more expensive property, but it doesn't differ that much. Just the marketing strategy and the quality of images and the videos, and again, dealing with the client is a little different, but everything, there is nothing a la carte. Everything is different. Every transaction is different. Every client is different, and you have to just cater to who you're working with and what are you selling.
Kate's a strong communicator. It shows, the way that you speak. And so I respect that a lot about you for sure. All right. So 4 languages, by the way. Okay. With J. Parr Sears Group, French, Spanish, English, Polish.
Yes.
So, one. So kudos, mad respect. She was a professor for a year, University of Santiago de Chile.
De Chile, yes.
Love it. And Farm and Ranch, she's an investor. We're going to talk a little bit about investing. Has done business in Corpus Christi, and we're going to talk about a little bit of the market current status, interest rates on the rise a little bit. Few people are freaked out.
A lot of people.
Let's talk about strategies, because I know you taught about that, and I love strategy. I think it's important. I think that, like I said a second ago, the way that you communicate, it can, if it's commanding and there's confidence and there's knowledge that's backing it up, there's obviously strategy behind all of that. So, when you're teaching in strategy,
Yes, that's what I was teaching, strategic marketing
let's go.
in Spanish.
Let's go. Marketing strategy in general business or, real estate focused.
Yeah, so when I lived in Chile, I already spoke Spanish, but I had to prepare the program, and the program was based basically on my experience over 20 years because I've been always very strong in marketing. It was just different industries, healthcare, entertainment, sports. When I entered real estate industry, I started applying different strategies to sell different properties. So we were talking here about, cowboy sign that got me in trouble, got disruption in my career because I was crying with all my merchandise being ready and then not able to use it. But thanks to this, I made Chris. So it was blessing in the disguise. Now I'm with the brokerage that I love. And
Did you get to reuse it later?
So support.
Did you get to use it again later for a different listing?
The sign, yes. I have right now actually Farm and Ranch listing in Rosh Sharon. It's 92 acres. If you want to see disruptive sign, you have to go to that location. It's on MLS, 92 acres, perfect for hunting. The same style sign. Every time now I'm going to sell Farm and Ranch, I'm going to use my cowboy image. It works.
I love it.
It makes you think about, having horses there, hunting, and that's particular sign I use for selling this type of property. Now, when we have a luxury property, we're just talking about this. It's Instagram, YouTube, direct relationships with accomplished agents. So So every property types needs a different strategy. I have some listings also off the market because sellers have certain reason which I can disclose. So, for example, I have a lot for sale in Independence Heights, seller wants to buy adjacent land from his neighbor, so we cannot obviously put it online because then this neighbor not going to sell him the lot. But this lot could fit 30 townhouses, and I share it with developers or commercial brokers or title companies, people that work with developers in that area, so they can bring the buyer. I can explain the circumstances, and then we can make a deal. So we talk about the lots, we talk about farm and ranch, we talk about the luxury. Let's talk about the commercial real estate. So commercial is totally different animal than residential. I'm very passionate about it. I hate tables and Excels, but I have people that do those tables. I do interpretations, pitch, and underwriting for the client. And most of them are online on platforms like Crexy, CoStar, LoopNet, Lens.com, Lens of America. Depending when I'm selling, I'm choosing appropriate platform. I'm also active on Chinese platform right now. I have 3 listings in Colombian market, so I have to do little research, where to put those listings. Those are very big farms. So if somebody's looking agricultural land in Colombia, I'm going to be there over Thanksgiving doing my marketing material. I can show those properties. But I want to bring example of one property I have actually in Dallas area. So it's also very large, 99 acres, and properties for mixed-use development. It's off the market, and if somebody is interested, they can give me a call. If they give me a call or send me a message, they get entire flyer with all the mixed-use allocation of the spaces, zoning, all this important things when you're doing development. And again, my YouTube. You're not going to probably see it on any of the commercial platforms, but you will always see everything that I have on and off the market on my YouTube. Sometimes it doesn't have an address because I want you to call me. I want to vet you. I don't want you to talk to me or my client before I see your ability to close on that deal. If you never done mixed use development, you want to buy 99 acres, probably you're not the right buyer. And it's not about discriminating. It's about qualifying, because I want to make sure people that buy get the results that they want. If you want to do RV park, for example, on the property that I have in Brazoria, 3 acres, it's possible. If you want to do mobile park, it's possible. If you want to do airport there and you tell me, hey, I want to buy this 3 acres, put airport there, I'm not sure if it's a good idea. So I need to address that from you up front so we don't waste my time, your time, and the seller's time. So I always imperative question in commercial real estate, what is the use? What do you want to do with the lot, with the building? What's going on? So be always confident to ask questions, because that way you can help your client. And it's again the strategy, because if they say, oh, I want to do the airport, and you think this is not suitable, well, then guess what? You tell them, hey, I can find you airport location if I can represent you. You establish relationship with them and you find them airport location. Just never turn down the business because you specialize in something. And if you're really not competent or confident, call me. I will take your listing or whatever you have there, and I'll pay you a referral fee. Because I thought first agents are competitors, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to talk. When I was my first year career, I'm like, oh, it's so much competition. It's not competition. My first closing was agent from Woodlands, Zach, thank you. Zach actually and his company were the buyer, and I was representing them. So now most of the agents are either my buyers or my sellers. Very often I sell for other agents because they don't want to represent themselves on their own house because it might cause some liability. They call me, they say, Kate, I see you rock and roll. I want to sell my property. I just had closing like this of Gessner, luxury property owner, wonderful lady. She was retiring. She moved to Miami. She didn't have time to service her transaction, neither she wanted. She called me, I sold it. We are friends now, and she's referring me her clients that she no longer can assist because she's no longer practicing agent. So make sure to maintain those relationships with the people that help you and trust you. It's gold, and it's pleasure to have those people around you because it makes you feel alive.
There you go. What percentage of your business is residential versus commercial, farm and ranch?
This year I think it shifted. Over 50% is commercial. I do residential too, but it's, from the clients that were warm referrals. I'm not going to go farming or look for sellers to sell their house. If it's somebody referred, like this lady I just mentioned that is retired agent, she sent me her best friend. So I have two listings right now, one in New Caney, one in Woodlands. Woodlands just got under contract because she's a friend. I'm never gonna say no to any deal. In fact, I have a listing right now for 45,000 in east of downtown, and it's a lot. And the gentleman called me a few times, and I postponed him because I was traveling. And because he was so patient, he's like, maybe it's too small deal for you. I'm like, I would take the deal for you, and never be arrogant to turn down even little deals, because
Sure.
I just sold a condo last month for my neighbor. I made only $3,000 because it was cheap condo. I have another cheap condo if somebody wants, by the way, 130 of the market. I have to throw it there because I live there, so he could be my neighbor. And then the same neighbor bought a property. Then he referred his brother, so it was like 700K in sales volume just from little tiny condo for a little bit over 100K. So don't be arrogant. I'm just going to take the $1 million listings. Just help people when they ask you for help, because that's where we are for, to provide good customer service to people that need our services. And if you're overwhelmed, hire people, have help to grow.
Investing Airbnbs, yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's a good topic too.
You can't do it by yourself. I mean, I talk to agents all the time. Probably the thing that I hear myself saying the most, depending on the agent I'm talking to, especially at the Masterminds monthly, they're always trying to figure out how to staff up and grow a team, and a lot of the people they're busting at the seams, and I'm watching and I'm just like, God, it was like I'm shocked, that you don't have that, you're doing it all by yourself type of thing.
I have
So I know how important.
person.
Yes. What's that?
I have one person now.
You got one person
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
No,
I have one more
You're like
person
me.
now.
I can tell it. Like control freak, right? You
No,
want to be in charge.
That's a
of all of
trick
it.
to learn, to delegate, especially like you just mentioned, investments, Airbnbs. On top of being agent, I'm also investors, and I think we talked about this before we went live, that for me, somebody that gives me advice, they need to have credibility. For me, credibility is like, if you don't own any property, I not necessarily want to listen to your advice, because what do you know? So I have been approached by the brokers that wanted to recruit me to their firm, and they didn't own any real estate. I'm like, if you own nothing, where's your money going? I don't think you manage your money correctly. That's my own thinking. No judgments.
Respect. Makes sense.
Everybody can have their own opinion, but since you brought Airbnb,
Don't just buy what everybody's selling.
yeah, I want to actually mention one more thing. So, one of my clients, he's my seller, but he didn't want to sell the property. Then he said, I'm buying gas station. I want to sell property. So I just bought last week first house for me in the United States, because before I just bought condos and everybody was criticizing HOAs and blah, blah, blah. But don't listen what people say. Buy what you're comfortable with. And that's what I ask my clients. What's your comfortable investment? What do you like? So I own several condos in Galleria, and I just bought the house in downtown Houston. And it was functioning as an Airbnb and short-term rental, but because I'm very busy, I don't have time to manage cleaning lady, go there to check after each reservation. So I'm looking for a long-term tenant. It's of emancipation, and again, to show strategy and creative thinking. If you are watching this, you want to be a tenant downtown and fully furnished house, 3-story, I'm going to give you one year lifetime fitness membership in a very close location to that house. So you can love the location and stay there forever. But the membership, I'm going to pay you just for 1 year, just to get you accustomed with the area. So that's another example of strategy, okay? People cannot sell their houses. Bunch of people putting houses on the market for rent. Supply is bigger than demand. Well, that's why I'm throwing you a gym membership, because I want to always have the shiniest apple in the garden. I want to have the best house that
So
you
smart.
cannot pass on it. The same with the listing. My listing in Woodlands had, in this market, had 15 showings in 3 days and had 11 people on Saturday open house. So if you want to sell in this market when rate is high, you need the best price per square feet. You need the best presentation, staging, best marketing, best agent, and exposure. Everything, Instagram, YouTube, the same things that you're doing. But it has to be top. Like, you don't post pictures from your phone to sell the house. You have to have professional images.
No.
I mean, the basics. But some people are like, oh, I'm just going to do quickly. I'm going to list it. It's going to sell. Go home. No.
How are you handling any pushback, if you're getting it, when it comes to the interest rates current status?
Yeah, interest rates. Well, I just mentioned I closed on property myself last week. Everybody, even my friends that are lenders, they're saying, I'm waiting for the good prices." Well, while you're waiting, inflation is still growing, and while you're waiting, there is a bunch of sellers that are desperate and they're willing to pay your closing cost. And yeah, I can negotiate you badass deal. That's what I did with my property in downtown. Seller pay my closing cost. If they're struggling to sell, probably I will negotiate for you closing costs. So even if you do the loan, well, guess what? It can be at 7, but in 2 years it can be 4. The value of property going to probably still be growing, although some people think it will be dropping. But take it out, even when it's dropping or increasing. If you have cash flows from the tenant, who cares? Or if you live there and you're paying money for your own property than somebody else's rent, who cares? Because you can always sell it when the property value is higher than at the time that you bought. Mine actually appraised more than I paid. In downtown it will be only growing, so I have no fear. But again, you need to understand and be comfortable with your decision. I never force my client. I ask them, what do you think? If they don't like something, we find them some alternative that they will like, and we still sell something. Because I love the saying, first sell, then solve. If they're ready with me, they sign all the papers, I'm going to find them something that they like.
Kate, when did you get your license?
Not that long ago.
2019, right?
2019, yeah.
Does she sound like a newer agent? No. So yeah, you've covered a lot of ground quickly to have the knowledge and be able to talk about the stuff that you talk about. So impressive. And again, 4 languages: English, Spanish, Polish, and French. All the brokerages, I think this might have been right before we had the official recording, but you posted you were looking for a broker. Why again did you go with JPart besides the marketing material?
Yeah, so since the beginning.
Shout out to Chris Sears, by the way.
Yes, Chris Sears. So when I started being an agent, I started with Keller Williams because I want to have fancy office, and people to receive them in luxury conditions. It was close to me, and I knew Keller Williams provides a lot of good training for the beginning agents. So, when I was taking SIPs, I'm Certified International Property Specialist. I met Justin. He's an amazing agent and a broker too. I met my other friend from San Antonio. I got to know many brokers that wanted me on their team because languages. 50% of Houston speaks only Spanish. 50% of my calls from Sign speak only Spanish. So everybody wants multilingual to obviously get the sales. But then I was thinking, I'm like, okay, well, if I have so many options, where do I go? And then, I joined the firm from San Antonio. And then, I joined Chris. But I joined him because I showed him this is how I work. This is marketing I create. I speak these languages. I want to do commercial. I'm doing right now at Rice University, real estate development course. So I told him I love learning. I'm doing CCIM. I mean, what do you think about all this? Are you gonna support this? And he said yes. So if somebody I see has accomplished track of record, which Chris does, if somebody can answer my questions and they're very complex, I only call attorney or Chris if I have a question because there's not many other people can answer those questions. So, you obviously want somebody that knows more than you to grow. And that's for me was the deal maker. Alignment in the marketing strategy and ability to have somebody more knowledgeable and experienced than myself that I can ask questions when I have a aha moment and I'm like, okay, what do I do? Is this better or that better? And that's important. And another thing, he's very passionate about what he does, which is the same like me, and also has a love for dancing. He used to dance. Then he told me, I love salsa, bachata. Chris was ballroom dancer. That's why he knows how to get along with any person, because just like you're going to social dancing, you dance with everybody. The same with the market. When you're a real estate agent, you dance with everybody. The dance is your conversation with the client. Everybody is different. I'm very fast and very energetic. If I feel I'm too much for a certain client, I refer them to more settle agent so they can have better communication, better relationship, or I allow them work with my licensed agent on staff, Viola, by the way, thank you. Without you, I wouldn't be able to grow and triple my sales and everything I do. So that's the deal.
I love that you said that. I am too. I'm high energy. I go fast, very enthusiastic, and sometimes when you're communicating that way to somebody, you can just tell when they're looking at you like, holy shit. Yeah,
Yes,
he
they
needs
sometimes
to
think
dial
we're
it
on
back. And I'm
drugs.
like, no, you need to go
We
faster.
don't take
but
drugs. We are just like that.
we just,
Wired.
coffee, maybe. But,
Yeah.
All right. So, what else did I want to ask you? Tell people how to get a hold of you, by the way, because you dropped so much knowledge, and I appreciate that. If y'all want to, reach out and holler at Kate.
To meet in person is hard because I drive from Dallas to Corpus, from Woodlands to
Instagram,
Galleria.
cell phone, or
Yeah,
email.
yeah.
Drop whatever you want.
So YouTube, Kate Myhan. My phone number is 713-855-0588. Phone calls only scheduled. Text me anytime. I have two Facebook, personal Facebook, business Facebook. I'll give you business Facebook. Kate Victoria Myhan is the business Facebook. YouTube, Kate Myhan. Instagram, KWM _ realtor. I mean, rate my agent. I'm all over the place. Just Google me and then you'll see all the platforms and you follow what you want. If you don't like it, don't follow. If you, just want to meet in person, then go for the best events in town, like masterclass. I also go sometimes for millennials after dark events. I go for commercial classes. Every opportunity to network is great. So just go where the like-minded people go and talk to them, and try not to talk all the time to the same people. Get to know more people. Just expand, and learn, and ask relevant questions to get the relevant answers.
There you go. Be the value, add the value, and get it. All right. So, a couple questions before I wrap this up and get us out of here. What's dream vacation for you?
Dream vacation? I mean, before being in real estate, I'll be honest with you, I've been all over the world because I had my Airbnbs. I manage everything from the phone, and I've been everywhere. So if people ask me, like, what's my dream vacation? Maybe my dream vacation is when somebody can take care of everything, but nobody can take care of everything. So dream vacation is in a good time zone that I can still check what's going on with my clients and take care of them. So that's the trick. If I went to Hawaii, it was difficult, but when I went to Ibiza and there was 7 hours difference, I was able to enjoy the vacation, be on top of things here. I know it doesn't sound like a vacation because I was still working, but I don't like too much.
You want to be hands off. Doesn't matter where you are, as long as you're not having to
Maybe
pay
3
attention,
days Bora Bora could be my dream vacation if I
Okay.
could go somewhere. I haven't been to Bora Bora because it's far. But
Sure.
more than 3 days, I just get bored.
We got to get there. I want to
Yeah.
go too. It's on
Yes.
the list. All right. Dream car.
Dream car. I always wanted to have a Porsche Panamera, but I'm pretty happy with my Lexus. I'm going to drive it till it dies. I have a GSF 470 power. I love speed. So, that's probably Porsche Panamera next one. If I manage to get property with garage, because right now I have a carport. I don't want Porsche to be scratched or vandalized, but it's okay. God protects you. So, that's a dream car, though. Okay, I'm talking
Yeah.
too much.
No, you're good. What favorite book or the last book you read?
Last book I read, I don't watch TV. I don't really read books. Oh yes, very good book, very short book, and people should be reading it. Favorite book. It's called Cinco Acuerdos, 5 Agreements. It's about how to have successful life, and everybody that is in real estate should read it because
Such a good book.
Yeah, you know that, right?
Yeah, just a couple months ago I
So
finished it.
the most important thing there is, I'm like, don't take anything personally, because I was first year crying. I'm like, oh, this buyer doesn't want to sign the buyer representation, and I was sad and crying. It's okay. They don't want to sell. You're gonna have another buyer, and be impeccable with your word. That was another rule, So that's important. I don't sign any referral agreement, whatever. If you want me to sign, I will sign with you. I believe in honesty, integrity, and value of the word. So the book is amazing. It's short, maybe 50 pages. It's on Amazon, $5. I gifted it to many people. So that's definitely something everybody should read, and it's so quick that there's no excuse.
What's the best advice you ever got, and who gave it to you?
But best what?
Best advice.
Best advice somebody gave to me?
Yeah, words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom. I don't know. My parents usually give me the wisdom advice.
Sure.
But
What's something that you grew up hearing a lot then? From mom or dad?
From mom and dad.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to bring out, but since I'm put on spot, I think the best advice is just to be yourself. What Kani said at the master class, because I'm not gonna, when it's cold, I'm not gonna dress up. I'm going today to holiday party with one title company. I'm not gonna dress up as Santa, as although I want to. It's cold. I'm gonna take 3 jackets. It's gonna be outside. I don't care. Just be comfortable with you. Be comfortable with what you do. If somebody tells you to do something that doesn't align with your vision, talk to them. And it's also about parental relationships, about the dating relationships, about business relationships. Just don't, be your own tree, grow up your branches. Don't die as a tree just because you want to please some other tree. I know it sounds weird, but I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just be yourself.
No, I'm big on that because there's and then I like going deeper on that as just being yourself is being you, and just being cool in the moment when you don't have to perform to be
That's
yourself.
actually very important too. So I'm going to work more in that aspect next year. I'm going to do first Tantra workshops in Houston. It's basically about improving people well-being. So the key to the term Tantra, people think it's something about sex, but it's about being present. So
Yeah.
it's a lifestyle of being present. And a lot of people dwell over things happened in the past. Me, before moving to Chile, I was engaged there. I live in the future. I was planning the wedding, everything, and it was so rigid in my thinking. Now,
Yeah.
especially in real estate, everything can shift. At 8 a.m., you can have full day of appointments, then they can get all canceled. Let the universe take care of itself. And trust it. It's okay. Whatever happens, it's okay. The future, be just confident about the future. Don't worry about the past. It's already gone. Being present is absolutely the key to healthy and happy living.
Very true. Food. We both live in Houston. Okay. But favorite restaurant? What do you like? And what do you like to eat there?
I have favorite restaurant, but I was like food. I'm like 2 days ago, for disclosure, I had pizza, but okay. So I don't go to office at all, although we have a lot of amazing offices with JPAR, one in City Center, one in Katy. I find the drive time is taking away from my production time. So instead of office, I use actually Almafi restaurant. It's Italian restaurant of Westheimer. They have truffles. I'm a truffles lover. So I take their buyers, sellers, investors for a conversation, unless I'm meeting them on the site. So I either meet the client on the site all on Mafi, so I can eat my stuff, get to know them, and don't drive an hour to their office or my office. So it's just for efficiency purposes. And then, you can have a meal and the appointment, because otherwise I probably won't have a meal because I'm so excited about what I do that I
Forget to
sometimes
eat.
forget to eat.
Is it Westheimer? Where is it? Or
Westheimer,
610?
Westheimer and Chimney Road, kind
Chimney Road,
of. Yeah,
got it, okay.
Almafi. Yeah, it's close to
Okay.
where the Palm used to be, but they closed the Palm, so
Yeah.
it's in that strip. There is also Chocolate Zena. So if somebody doesn't want to eat,
I'm gonna check it out.
Chocolate Zena is a good place too for the meeting. A lot of builders hanging out there, so I pick up some business there too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I drive by there on a daily. All right. What else do I have for you? I think we're about to wrap it up.
I wanted just to add a secret sauce. So people are like, "What do you do?" I have very simple line.
All right, let's hear that.
I do what I
you got?
can. That's what I tell my assistant. But then what people notice, it's I answer every call. I don't have office number like some other companies that are bigger, and then you never get hold of the agent. Is a receptionist. I will check, and they follow up with you after a week. And then your buyer has other property. Every sign marketing I have has my mobile number. I answer every call. If I cannot talk at the moment, I schedule phone call with the people. And the other secret sauce to success is follow up. Probably only 50% of agents follow up. And then you have to have another follow up, because if you don't, you lose the business. So yesterday, for example, I got a hard lead. I called immediately, and by middle of the day, the buyer signed. The buyer rep sent me proof of funds. In the evening, the same day, I had a contract. So if you don't call within this 15 minutes, they look at other house or they're talking to other agents. So be responsive and be on top of the game, because if you're waiting, somebody else is getting your business. That's
All
what's
right,
happening.
that's a big complaint. Return phone calls from agents. So if you need somebody to call you back, call Kate. Okay. All right, last question, then I'm gonna wrap this up. Favorite musical, like band, artist, genre. What do you like?
So I love dancing bachata and salsa, so that's my music for dancing. I listen a lot Maroon 5, but this year I was at the Lady Gaga concert. and it was phenomenal. I love her. I was actually singing some of her songs, and Dua Lipa. So actually, JPAR people know I wasn't at the award handing last time with JPAR because Dua Lipa concert was at the same time, and I was waiting whole year for Dua Lipa concert, and then our award ceremony was on the same day. So I'm hoping for the next one, no Dua Lipa, because I'm probably gonna get another award. So yeah, Dua Lipa, Lady Gaga, Maroon
Yeah.
5 and Romeo Santos for bachata. I love Latin music. I'm Latin in my heart. Full disclosure, I'm just look white and Polish, but I'm Latin.
Yeah,
So
there you go. That's what's within. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate it.
thank
very
you for
much.
invitation.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely. Tell people one more time how to get a hold of you.
Yes, call me, text me 713-855-0588, or write to me on Facebook, or follow YouTube, whatever you want to do. You'll find me. I'm omnipresent. My signs are all over town, so you will see me in Kruger, on the medical center, wherever you go, I'll be there. On the pens at El Mafi, I'm there.
There you
Branding.
go. There you go. If you didn't get a handful of nuggets from Kate, shame on you. But thank you so much for checking out Disruption Nation. Please give us a like, subscribe, download. We're on all podcast apps, Spotify, all that good stuff. And we drop a show every Tuesday at 2 o'clock, and we look to see you at the next one. Take care.